What's up troopers, my name is Neon and welcome to a brand new video. I have a best settings for you guys today to get you guys started with this game. But I do want to say this, after a week or so I will be having an update version as I have tweaked a lot more of my settings. So please subscribe because this video is going to help you start off. But once I fine tuned everything, then you guys are really good to go. So make sure to subscribe and let's get into the best settings for this game. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to be in accessibility. Going to go all the way down, make sure you turn your vibration off. We don't want that. And if you are on PlayStation, then the adaptive triggers, you need to turn these all the way down, especially if you don't want them to be enabled. So make sure you turn these two settings all the way down. Now we move ourselves over to the controller side, and what we're going to be doing is going to this bit, and the infantry aim sensitivity, this is actually your main sensitivity. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a 75 sensitivity. Field of view is a personal preference. I know a lot of people like going for max, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for 110. When it comes to your aim assist, just leave them all as default, but if there's anything you do want to change, you probably want to be changing the snap zoom. The aim input curves, I'm leaving as default as I feel like that works the best. And it comes to acceleration, I'm not a big fan of it, so I actually have it all the way down. If you do play Call of Duty, you probably want to have it around 30 to 40, but if you're already a Battlefield player, then you want to have this completely off, unless you already like having it on. It's a personal preference. When it comes to steady scope, you want to have that as the same as your aiming button. And here is your infantry zoom aim sensitivity. So this is the sensitivity for aiming. And what I do is I have this all the way down to a 50. But I think for right now, I'm going to go for 55. As I said, troopers, there will be an update video for the settings once I fine-tuned everything, but this is going to be great for you guys to get you going right now. When you go all the way down, you're going to find other, and I actually turn off skip revive. I do it as toggle, so you don't need to hold it. And this one here, the flick look, this is an important one. I will show you guys how I'm going to be doing my button mapping, but with this, I suggest to have it the highest as you possibly can. So the speed, you want to have it all the way maxed out, okay? And this is the threshold. It depends on what you're setting it as. I'm going to set it as an upper D-pad. So I'm just going to turn this all the way down to the lowest. So it's instantly sensitive, especially if you're going to have this on a trigger or a different button. Now you're going to get into the controller mapping side. This is going to be a little bit crazy, but I'm going to give you guys the best ways of what you should be using. There's going to be a couple of stuff what I'm going to have completely different to others. So it's all by personal preference. So when it comes to jumping, I jump with my L1 button, and it's the same as the vaulting. When it comes to crouching, I do with my thumbstick, that's the R3. Parachute, you want to be doing this L1, all is the same as your jumping. Switch the melee takedown to circle. And when it comes to your gadgets, I actually have this as a lower D-pad. And then this is where everything's going to get a little bit crazy. So this is the part where I don't really recommend anyone to use, but it's up to you. This is going to be a completely make sense type of situation, so just hear me out. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this as the middle on my controller, and that's going to be changed in the laser sight. The firing mode is going to be the same button, and the reason why I changed it like that is because when you see these here, the settings of flick look backwards, you're going to set that as your upper D-pad. For PlayStation 5, you can do claw with your index finger and never leave the thumbstick. On the vehicle side, there of course will be a lot more tuning in a future video, but what we're going to do is we're going to set this probably around 50. And we're going to be using the uniform vehicle aiming. Turn off acceleration as you don't need it with vehicles. And on controller, you're going to go all the way down to the bottom. This is going to be a pretty important one. As you can see, controller tuning. As soon as you click on that, this is where you're going to see a lot of the juicy stuff. And this is where all your dead zones are. Dead zones are a personal preference when it comes to your sticks, but this is what we're looking for the most. And this is when it comes to your triggers, the L2 and the R2. And these are your thresholds right here. So it depends on how long you are pulling down that trigger. So if you want an instant input, then you want to have these all the way down to 5%. As soon as you've done that, you can have the instant input and you're going to be shooting straight away, as you don't need to pull down your trigger halfway down. Here is the graphic settings, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning off some important things like weapon motion blur. Get that completely off. You want to get all of these blurs off. You do not want them at all, as it's going to make you pretty sick and nauseous. So get these all the way down. Camera shake also needs to be reduced. It's going to be a default as 50. This is a good setting to reduce the movement when you're running. So anything what kind of gives you too much emotions, you want to be turning off. So that is going to reduce it. All of these here is what basically makes the game look pretty. But playing it for a long time, you want to be having a nice clear visual. So please turn all of these three completely off. You just see there, when I turn it on, you see how dark it is around the screen, and then I turn it off, and now look how bright it is. Your HUD icons, these are your personal preference. It's up to you what ways you want to be changing with it, messing about with it. But if there's anything I would say is the enemy icon, you can turn this higher up, so from a further distance is a bigger icon. But with this game, the higher the icon is, the further it is from the target. So just leave it as default right now until you figure out what works best for you. To go a little bit more further when it comes to your motion stuff, you can go back to accessibility and go all the way down until you find camera effect. Once you find that, this is where all your other stuff is. So what you want to do is you want to be turning this, the HUD motion. So basically when you're running around and stuff, your HUD is going to be wiggling too. So you want to be turning that off, as you won't have too many distractions. And to finish it off, this is your audio. All of this here is a personal preference, but if we go all the way down to audio mix, we can change this around and decide what way we want to use it. For me, I'm going to go with war tapes. I was a big fan of it in the beta, so that's what I'm going to be using. And there we go, troopers. That is the best settings to get you guys started right now. Unfortunately, I can't find any colorblind settings in this game, so hopefully they add that very soon. As I said, I will make a following settings video for all the fine tunes, but this video right here is going to help you good to go. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you on the battlefield.